Want to know how to write a book outline using Scrivener? In this video, I'll show you just how to do that. Hi, I'm Jeshua. We at Deep Dive Publishers help aspiring authors pen, publish, and promote a best-selling book. In this video, we'll show you how to create an outline using Scrivener. And then, once we've made that outline, at the end of the video, I'll also show you how you can easily go ahead and begin working on the book itself. But before we do that, let's show Scrivener and how to do an outline. Now, before we go ahead and start working with Scrivener, you might be interested in knowing a little bit more about it. It is a fantastic resource for any writer, novelists, journalists, screenwriters, academics, etc. It is a ring binder, a scrapbook, a corkboard, an outliner, and a text editor all in one. It's specifically designed to help make large projects more manageable, and it is a software written by writers for writers. As a matter of fact, the original creator and man who's still in charge of the project was an aspiring author, but none of the text editors that he was taking a look at did all of the things that he wanted them to do. So he taught himself how to program and built Scrivener from scratch. Now that you're a bit more familiar with what Scrivener is and why it exists in the first place, let's take a look at it. Here we are with Scrivener. This is the general nonfiction template. When you begin building your own project, you will simply go to essentially New Project. It will open up the same window that you will see there when you first launch Scrivener, and it will ask you from several options what thing you would like to do. It's very simple, very streamlined, and so here we are with the general nonfiction one. First, I'll bring your attention to the binder, which is the menu on the left-hand side of the screen. This is where you will be doing most of your navigating. It's fairly streamlined and easy to think about, easy to use. You can select the chevrons and close out whichever pieces that you don't need at your current time, and you can do the same thing to open up whichever pieces you want, close, open. Very nice, very easy to get a lot of layered things going on that you can very easily clean up depending on how you're working. From the format itself, I've done nothing with this project so far. It has, oh yes, I'll get to that screen in a moment. It starts off with our foreword, so let's go ahead and write something for our foreword. Gotta love autocorrect. And inside here, doing your writing, this is the editor. It functions pretty much the same as any other text editor. If you've used Microsoft Word or Google Docs or anything like that, then you're fairly familiar with how to use this. There's bold, italics, underlining. You can, in fact, I'm going to highlight this, go over here, center that, and then I'm going to make it bigger because it is in fact the top bit here, and I'm going to highlight it, and just for the sake of it, why not underline? No, that looks bad, so let's not do that. Alright, so we have our foreword together now. Let's begin working on our outline. We're going to go into chapters here. It's going to look differently if you're using a different format, but the principles are the same, and you can very easily make this same layout if you were going with a different format. So let's do section 1 here, section 2, add item, new text, and for just demonstration purposes, let's go ahead and add a 4th section. Alright, so chapter 1, we'll name this chapter 1, has 4 sections. Why? I don't know. I don't know what book this is, but for the purposes of checking it out, 2 chapters. And again, with the binder, we can close out each section if we don't want to examine them fully. Now, this is the corkboard view, which you can select up here if you're viewing a folder. If you're inside a simple document itself and you click the folder, there is nothing because, or click the corkboard rather, because the corkboard views the subsections inside the folder that you have selected. So for back matter, if we were to select that, you see we have each of those, but there are subfolders in each of those sections, so you can then select here and view. So easy enough to understand, hopefully. And now let's begin working on our outline. Okay, you can either double-click. Well, first I will show you how to do the double-click option, which is you double-click, and then you can begin working. All right, that is chapter 1 done with the outline section. Chapter 2, same idea. Now, okay, yeah, and it's basically that simple. You can do it this way. You can go over here and view the group subdocuments in the outliner. And so you can also view things this way. We could add another item. Section 5. I actually did not look into how to do that in here myself, so that is my fault here, but hey, more final thoughts. And it's essentially that easy. You can go into this view and have the linear perception of each section of the chapter 1. Or maybe this is just the full document and each of these sections is a chapter by itself. That's perfectly fine as well. So instead of having the outlines for the different sections of one chapter, you could have the outlines for 5 different chapters. And you can do either of these 2 views for however many sections or chapters that you need for the project you're working on. And it's very much that simple. The navigation is pretty easy to follow. This is where you would keep your research, preferably, your notes and ideas. This could be easily... Oh yes, it is in fact a folder, so let's go ahead and add some text. And you could have different notes of things. Inside the research section, you can actually import folders and files, and we can take a look at how to do that in a later video. But if you wanted to view a web page, if you wanted to save a video or an audio file, you can do all of that right inside the research section of Scrivener. You don't have to go and mess around with different folders inside your operating system. You can, if you choose to, save all of it right in here. Okay, now I've shown you how to do an outline using Scrivener. At the beginning of the video, I promised to also show you how you can easily begin working on your manuscript inside Scrivener. Okay, let's go and hit section 1. Here is the text editor for section 1 of chapter 1. If you wanted to go over here to the circular blue eye, which is the inspector button, you can click that, and then the first option on the left of the metadata options is notes. Under notes, you can have synopsis, and look at that, right there, the outline that we built in the corkboard section can be viewed simply right there. So you can have your outline, however long it is, however much of the screen you want it to take up. You can simply have it right there next to you, and then you can begin working on section 1. Once you've finished that, you can go over here. Section 2, you can view it right here. Again, if you want to view it and it's not an option already, or it's not presenting rather, you can go over to the top right with the eye, hit the inspector button, and right at the first button of notes on the left of this bar here shows synopsis. You can close that out if you want. You can have different notes as well. You can begin all sorts of different things. In fact, I will label this one, which you can do down here, and it will make it a red, and I will say to do. And then once you're over here, you can have the red, and once you're up here, you can go over here, view red, view to do. So that's what this screen is more relevant for. Once you have gone into this process, you can label different ones. Let's say green. Let's say this one has been a first draft, so that's green there. You can view it. No, you have to select the folder to view it with this screen. Or you can do the corkboard, and it will be colored depending on what you want to do. And it's basically that simple. You can easily go from your outline into your actual writing process, no problem at all. As you've hopefully seen in this video, Scrivener can be very helpful and make the process a lot easier for working on your book. In future videos, we're going to show a lot more detail and go into way more of the nooks and crannies. There are many depths to Scrivener. As a matter of fact, I will be learning more of those in-depth things as we go on with these videos myself. I've been using Scrivener for a few years now, and examining recently the tutorial for this video and these future videos, I found out that there are many things that I have not been using that would be making the process even easier than it already is. Ta-da! Editing magic. Don't mind the change of clothes. Do you want to master the art of great writing? If you've made it to this point in the video, you probably do. No matter whether you're starting at the very beginning of your journey or you've been writing for decades, there's always something new to learn. We at Deep Dive Publishers have what we refer to as the rules of great writing. And each letter in great writing stands for something vitally important to your writing being good and anyone else's. Our Be a Better Writer Masterclass and Guide bundle will take you through the acronymed version of great writing and show you the fundamentals of all of those different pieces. Normally, we would sell it for $197. If you go down to this link right here and buy Scrivener, either just by typing in what's on the screen, going to the description, or to the pinned comment, and buy Scrivener today, you'll get Scrivener, and also our Be a Better Writer Masterclass and Guide. Since you've made it to the end of the video, hopefully you liked it. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Subscribe to be notified of our future Scrivener videos and other writing videos. And share it with your friends, your family, loved ones, anyone you know who is an aspiring author or already a writer who could benefit from learning more. And that's just about everybody. See you next time.